Hello, everyone. This is a Riok channeling on Monday the 13th, day after Easter. Hope you all had a great Easter, and my unconditional love to all you guys and gals and hybrids and anyone tuning in. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring my intergalactic homie through. One moment, everyone.
All right, and we thank you so much for your attention in this transmission. It is our civilization's highest joy, passion, excitement, and pleasure to be able to have these types of co-creative interactions with each and every single one of you. And we will begin this transmission with the title, The 5 Expressions of Passion. Now understand, your passion is an energetic state that represents the idea of your signature frequency, your true nature. Therefore, when you act your passion out, in reality, it's as if you're crystallizing more of your infinite spirit into the physical reality hologram that you perceive yourselves to be in. We remind you that this physical reality dream is occurring within your consciousness. It's literally within your being, rather than with you being in it. Understand that when you act that passion out, you are saying to the physical reality, hey, physical reality, I am ready to observe more of my signature frequency, more of my true nature reflected back to me in my life experiences. It's as if you are saying to your higher self, to creation, to source, to the infinite you that you are, all right, infinite me, I am now ready to experience more of myself reflected back to me in my experiences. More of my true nature, the unconditional love, joy, and passion that I am reflected back to me in life. And through acting your joy out, acting your passion out, with no expectation on what it must do or what will occur, you are setting the stage for your life to reveal and reflect back to you higher frequency reflections of your infinite nature in the form of experiences, adventures, other individuals, extraterrestrials, nature spirits, and much more. Now, we have labeled this transmission as the 5 expressions of passion. Understand that, for many of you, in a generalized sense, there are themes for you that represent certain activities, certain methodologies, certain ways, certain paths of self-expression that are very much pertinent to who you are as a soul, to who you are as a being, to who you are as an individual. Understand that you could look at it like your passion, your joy, your ecstasy is a reservoir of water. And the idea is that there are, generally speaking, for most of you, and there can be exceptions to this, and there oftentimes are, but at a base level, there are 5 major channels that carry the water of this reservoir to different locations in the reality. So imagine in that way a big reservoir and 5 channels extending from the reservoir, carrying that water, carrying that information, carrying that energy to various regions of the reality, various regions of the planet. These 5 major channels represent the 5 major expressions of passion. The 5 major expressions of passion in that sense are certain themes, certain ways of expressing oneself that are very relevant to who you are as an individual, that are very relevant to who you are as a soul. Now, understand there are infinite ways passion can be explored. In that sense, there are infinite channels that in many ways carry the water or transport the water from the reservoir to wherever in the reality that water wishes to go. But in general, there are 5 major channels that represent the greatest allowance of water to flow. Think of these 5 major channels of passion as very wide, very spacious, so much water, much energy can flow through them. We would encourage each of you to begin to investigate within yourself what are certain themes that you find surrounding your passion. Maybe you find that you really love to sing. Every time you sing, you're in a state of joy. Maybe you really love to teach, and every time you love to teach, you're in a state of joy. Or maybe you love writing. No matter what it is, fiction or nonfiction, maybe that is a state for you, an activity for you that represents your highest joy. Or maybe it is adventuring outside, traveling the world. Understand that if you observe your life up until this point, it is likely you will find certain themes, certain activities that to you really represent, really reflect back to you your passion, your joy. It's likely that you will find at a minimum 5 major passion themes that are active for you. The reason for this has to do with the idea of the numerological significance of your number 5. 5 in that way represents the number for humanity. You have in that way a physical body that has 5, you could say, extensions. You have the idea of the 4 limbs and the head, and this is a type of geometric configuration that represents the idea of the pentacle. It represents the idea of the pentagon. It represents the idea of 5. You have in that way the 5 extensions of head, arm, limb. Lower limb, that is. You in that sense also have the 5 senses. Understanding you also in that way have approximately 5 orifices. 5 in that sense represents a very significant number in relationship to a symbol for humanity. Now, understand that as you begin to express yourself through your 5 major themes of passion, it's as if you are configuring your energy. You are configuring the geometry of your energy to reflect the idea of your natural physical geometry representing 5. It's as if you are configuring your energy to be in alignment with the number 5. And the more consistently you allow for yourself to express your 5 major forms of passion, the idea is that 5 energy within your being will get stronger and stronger and stronger until the 5 can't handle that energy anymore, and it then must expand, it must grow to the 6, then to the 7, then to the 8, then to the 9. Now, understand, it's not required that you create passion extensions that represent 9 major themes, but what we are talking about here is a natural progression. As you build upon the 5 major passions that you likely are aware of in some way currently, or can easily become aware of should you simply review your journey, review your life, review your passions. As you begin to crystallize and act those 5 major passion paths out, eventually it will lead to the idea of a 6. And this represents the idea of the numerological significance of the 6, representing the concept of the 6th sense. And it's likely your passion will begin to expand in a way that becomes more quasi-physical, that becomes more non-physicalized in terms of that sixth path, that sixth channel that delivers passion from the reservoir of your signature frequency, of your true nature. Understand that this will continue to grow and grow and grow at the sixth level as you crystallize all six of the passion paths until, again, the six can't handle it anymore and it then must expand into the seven. The seven, in that way, has many energies behind it, but in general, think of the seven as the bow tie, as the wrapping of the gift, the bow on the gift. The idea is it represents the unification of all of those passions. Think of it like this: those seemingly separate expressions of passion, 1 through 5, and then the sixth, in many ways, at a certain point, you will notice that they begin to unify. They begin to very much complement each other. They begin to entangle and weave with one another. By the time you reach the seven, that likely will be, for many of you, the idea of a passion expression that very greatly unifies the other six passions together, allowing for yourself to operate in the idea of an energetic geometric structure of the number seven that in many ways is very organizational, can be, in that sense, very powerful, very big in the physical reality. Many of you would understand this to be a type of business or a type of organization or a type of platform, perhaps, that in many ways unifies the other six expressions of passion. The idea of the eighth expression of passion, once the seven can't handle it anymore, and then you have to then grow the eighth path, the eighth channel from your reservoir. The eight, in that sense, represents longevity. Because when you take the eight and you flip it horizontally, you get the infinity symbol, the Mobius. You then experience the concept of your passions expanding outward into infinity. This, for many of you, will represent the idea of a collapse within space-time, as the energetics of the infinite will be what you are very much channeling, what you are very much tapping into, because by the time you've reached the seventh channel, your entire life will likely be a continuous flowing state. You will, in that sense, constantly be in flow, because by the time you're at the seven, your whole life will be organized by passion. And the idea is the eighth path, the eighth expression of your passion, represents a longevity. It represents an infinity to your expression, to your passion, to your life. For many of you, side effects of the 8 number can be seen in the idea of experiencing less time, the idea of being able to see the infinite within all things, the idea of being able to see and detect your true nature, your unlimited point of view within all things, all people, all situations that you are interacting with. And in many ways, it allows for your other 7 passions to be able to express themselves in ways that appear to be infinite. As you begin to crystallize the 8th expression of your passion, the 8th theme, eventually it can't handle it anymore, and it goes to the idea of the 9. By the time you are at the 9, you in many ways will likely be, in that sense, a very universal type of being. And what we mean by this is you are already a universal being, you are already an infinite being, but by the time you express the 9th passion theme, the idea is that you begin to see within yourself, you begin to experience within your life the idea of being in all places at once while experiencing yourself as a locality. So that, for many of you, may represent the concept of what in your yogic traditions have been called siddhis, psychic gifts. The idea of being able to tune into one reality and receive information there. The ability to tune into another reality and receive information from there, all from the here and now. The idea is by the time you have expanded into the 9th passion expression, those types of abilities will likely, for many of you, become natural. They will become very natural extensions of your senses that can allow for you to communicate very easily with future selves, past selves, parallel versions of yourself in this incarnation, extraterrestrials. And the idea is you can begin to interact with many of the other realities that are co-occurring with you presently in a way that actually allows for you to explore and follow your passion with these other beings. And this in many ways acts as your passion, your being expanding consciously into infinite versions, infinite expressions of reality. By the time you're at the 10th passion theme, this represents the idea of completion. It represents the idea of the totality of the structure of creation. It represents your geometry, your energetic geometry, being in alignment with the idea of all that is itself. By the time you're at the 10th passion level, the 10th passion path expression, it's likely that at this level, you will in that way begin to experience those other realities that you are interacting with at the 9 level, no longer seeming like they are other separate realities. You will, in that sense, by the 10th level, begin to experience them very close in terms of proximity to your personal local reality. For many of you, this may look like deep levels of contact with extraterrestrial beings. It may look like deep levels of contact with natural expressions of Earth consciousness. And it also, in that sense, allows for you very easily to experience yourself while still being in a locality from the point of view at all that is. And because you are, in that sense, geometrically aligned with the nature of Source, in terms of how your energy body is configuring itself by the time you're at the 10th level, you will find that the level of knowingness becomes something that your eyes, your senses, cannot shy away from. The idea of your true nature by the 10th level is glowing. It is obvious. It is all-encompassing. And at the 10th level, it becomes, for you, very likely, that you will, in that sense, no longer really have much of a distinction between all that is in yourself. You will, in that sense, still experience yourself largely as a locality, as a being, as a character. However, you will experience a level of your character that is, in many ways, indistinguishable from Source, indistinguishable from all that is. And because all creation, in that sense, is Source, it, in many ways, enhances your ability to align your frequency with a multitude of realities that represent preferred manifestations, preferred experiences. And by the 10th passion path, it's likely you will, in that sense, be experiencing yourselves as being able to very rapidly, very quickly, very easily manifest a variety of different preferred tools, characters, experiences within all of the preceding 9 expressions of passion. And it will appear as if you can say to yourself, wow, I really love my passion path of art. Wouldn't it be exciting if I suddenly experienced a new innovation in the art world, a new tool that allows me to create my art in a new way, in a new exciting way? Wouldn't that be great? And the idea is by the time you're at the 10th level, the 10th passion path, those types of energies that you say, oh, wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be exciting? It allows for you to experience very rapidly certain manifestations that are vibrationally resonant with that wish, with that dream, with that frequency you lightheartedly considered for your passion path. So in many ways, it allows for very rapid, accelerated manifestation processes to be available for all of your preceding 9 passion paths, as well as the idea of the 10th passion path. Being able, in that sense, from the 10th level to very easily, very rapidly create hybrid realities for yourself, for your collectives that you experience. Now, as you work your way up to the 10, we remind you, it's not a race. Where you are at is perfect. If you feel as if you only have one passion theme, that's perfect. That's exciting. That's beautiful. Explore that one passion theme as fully as you can. And what you'll find is that will likely reveal to you a second passion path, a second passion theme. Begin to, in that sense, explore both. That will likely lead to the 3rd. Explore all 3, then the 4th, and then, after having explored all of them, the 5th. And you'll find that it's not as if you must sacrifice time from one path to give your attention to another, because they are all paths unified by the passion principle, by the consciousness of excitement that you are. They all are synergistic. They all are harmonious. They all work together like a team. So you'll find that should you organize your energy through passion, should you live your life through passion, your 5 major passion path expressions will all be synergistic, will all be harmonious, and they will naturally build and build and build until a new path is perceived. The 6th, then the 7th, then the 8th, then the 9th, then the 10th. Now, there are other levels past the 10th. However, for this discussion, for this interaction, we are going to leave it at the 10th for now. We will deliver more information on this at a later date, but we think we have given all of you enough to play with for now. So, recognize your passion is your currency. Your passion is your life force. Your passion is your true nature acted out in the reality. So you can then experience more of your true nature, more of your unconditional love, more of your own joy reflected back to you through the multidimensional mirror of physical reality. On behalf of all society, we bid you all a good day, and we thank you so much. And we wish you all an exciting transformation process, an effortless, easy, blissful, ecstatic transformation process. And as always, our civilization's unconditional love to each and every single one of you. And we thank you for your attention in the co-creation of this transmission.
Thank you all. Beautiful.